Hi guys, my name is lelasophia. I am an artist and fine jewelry designer. If you like contemporary fine jewelry, if you like luxury handbags, all things interiors, then I have some fun videos for you. Today, you guys, I've been compiling a list of some of the bags that I think are just like, oh, I am over the moon with them. Some of them are vintage, a lot of them are pre-loved or pre-owned. And here's my list. If you guys are new here, thank you so much for tuning in. I can't wait to see you in all of my future videos. Make sure that you like this video, subscribe to my channel, follow me on Instagram at lelasophia jewelry. I put out videos every Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday, and so I can't wait to see you guys in the next one. Okay, so as we know, I'm always, hunting. Now I can call it doing research, looking at pre-loved bags because we know me. I love a good, either beaten up or just new from the box, but I love a good pre-loved bag, especially when they're vintage, especially when you're giving this bag a new life from these brands. The quality is just always so incredible. And so to start, because why not? To start off, I've been seeing so many perk totes from the row on the pre-loved market, a lot on the Real, a lot on Vestiaire. They're just such incredible bags. I think for me, from my lifestyle, we've gone over this. It might not be my bag for now. I also have my new Bottega medium sardine bag, which is kind of also a tote, but obviously a totally different vibe. And I have my double circle bag from the row. So those are kind of my tote styles, but I've felt these in person. And I get the hype. I totally understand because I can vouch for the rose quality all day. You guys know I sing their praises completely unsponsored all the time. And this bag just seems like, from the people who have it, who've worn it, who've loved it, it's truly their favorite bags. And there's so many on the pre-loved market. On my very first kind of like wish list video, I had this on here. And it's very controversial because I know that the saddle bags, my goodness, they had, I would say, right in the last like 5-ish years, they were one of the most popular vintage style bags, I would say. And not just talking about the vintage, the new re-edition ones were so wildly popular. And as soon as I saw the double saddle bag in ostrich, I was like, hello, what is this? As soon as that bag surpassed stardom. First of all, just from like a practicality standpoint, the prices, I got priced out of those. And I've seen videos from people who bought the vintage double saddle bags in ostrich for like $200. And so I couldn't bring myself to pay like $2,000. But there is some weird, I don't know. It's still kind of on my list. And every time I see one, I still kind of love it. And so this one, I'm very curious to hear your thoughts. I like the classic saddle style, but the double in ostrich, especially either that like maroon plum color or just, to be basic me, the brown, it's kind of still always in the back of my mind. And for one that I only talked about once, so this is definitely worthy of being talked about again. When I did my Phoebe Philo kind of video going over my favorite bags of hers, there was one that I was like, why does nobody have this? And clearly nobody's really caught on yet. I mean, at least from what I see. But from Chloe, I think this was one of her very early collections. She did like 1,000 different, not really 1,000 different, but like tens of different kinds of beaded versions of a bracelet bag. That bag, I've seen them on the pre-loved / vintage, almost vintage market for like, $300 to $500. There are some more special ones that are above that, but I don't know, I've been kind of tempted by this bag. And so I feel like you have like the John Galliano era, really cool, like quirky saddle bags for Dior, or if you have like a really cool beaded vintage Fendi Baguette, I feel like this could be like the perfect, third option for you. I don't know, I think it's pretty cool. And to just go ahead with Miss Phoebe Philo, because, it's not lost on me that about next week, her collection is hopefully dropping. There's a bag that, I let one go and I'm a little sad, but I'm also like, okay, you just got the sardine bag, which you'll know where I'm going. There's a bag that I found from hers. I've never even seen it in person, but as soon as I saw a photo of it, I said, what is this gorgeousness? Phoebe Philo, from one of, again, her very early collections, came out with a bag called the Triangle Bag. It's so cool. It's so cool. On the runway, like, this is why I was a little bit like, oh, I haven't even seen the bag, like, worn with the two handles on the runway, as she did a lot. She had, if there's two handles, she had the model holding just one and had the other handle kind of like flopping open, maybe to show like how cool and relaxed it is. It seems like it's pretty large. And there was one on Vestiaire that I was like so close to pulling the trigger on for a while. And I don't know, it kind of like, even though it's so different, it kind of is like, you know, and again, I have some tote bags and I also have my white Magda Butrym bag that I didn't want it to clash that much, but if I ever find another, I might be tempted because it's so cool. It's so weird. It's so like, the bag itself just seems like a very functional, simple bag. And then with that crazy, not a triangle, I guess the whole bag creates a triangle, that crazy kind of handle that's really cool. I don't know, I've never even seen this in person. I've never even seen like someone put an outfit together with it, but I'm just dropping it in here because if you ever find one, I don't know, it kind of seems like one of the coolest, most random, unique bags. And one that is not cool, random, or unique, the one that is so classic that it's in the title, the Ferragamo iconic Gancini top handle bags, whichever one the actual name is. Oh my goodness, I've been kind of looking at some. And again, I know that this is controversial, and so I hope I'm not offending anybody, but I do have a love for exotics. I just have to admit, I love my exotic bags. And one in like a lizard finish, it would be so cool. And I've found them for like insane prices. I've definitely been thinking about one of the Ferragamo top handle bags, but again, we know my new obsession with top handle bags, and so I don't need like a smooth leather one because, you know, my Sling 16 and my Kelly really have that covered. But the lizard, I'm like, this could be really cool. Lizard, first of all, I've been able to now test out and try. Lizard is so durable. It's so yummy. It's so cool. It's hefty and yet looks, I think, very chic and very cool. You know, again, me, I don't really have any black bags except for my one bag from the row, which is very specific. And I don't know, a black lizard iconic top handle bag from Ferragamo, especially a vintage one, it's kind of seems like it could just be a throw on. Cool, but then also like a vibe to take out to dinner. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this one. This one, I'm gonna admit something in this one. So you guys know that I had a vintage Fendi Baguette bag that I loved. I have to always champion for us larger bodied people. It didn't fit over my shoulder, and so it was always a little bit hard, and it was nice. I was taking it out to dinner with me sometimes, but for like my normal everyday, it kind of wasn't as easy. So anyways, I ended up selling it, even though I loved it so much. And then I remembered that before I got mine, I remember asking a couple people's opinions, and they all told me just go with the classic. But I had found some of the ones that like are the classic FF logo on the bag, the cloth Fendi Baguette, like couldn't be more classic. But then there are ones which I kind of wish I got with the like flowers just like chunked on there. There are ones that are all floral print, but I'm talking about the ones that are like the regular Fendi Baguette, and then it almost looks like very like, not like arts and crafty, but a little bit in like kind of a whimsical sweet way, like flowers just like stuck on. There's a yellow one and a pink one. I don't know. Not that I regret selling mine, but I do think had I gotten the flower one, I would have kept it in my collection. It's such a cool like passed down version, and I just saw so many people with the classic one that I was like, all right, we're going in a different direction here. I actually, because I sold that one, I bought my doctor bag from the row, which I'm sorry, like that, you know, like paper covers rock on that one. But the flower one, if you all of a sudden see that one in my collection, don't be surprised. And I'm just here to tell you guys that there are Birkins. I've heard so many people say that the Birkin market, that the Hermes market, that the Kelly market has gone so up, which it absolutely has. this weird, you know, again, we all know my thoughts on it. The rise of quiet luxury and yada, yada, yada. And those stylists who have been styling all the kind of it people have been using a lot of vintage Hermes bags, a lot of vintage Kellys, which I think just looks so cool. Obviously, I love my own one. I'm very proud of myself. This is one that I did do right when I purchased it almost a year ago, and that was definitely, it was great because I'll never be able to buy one again at that condition, at that price that I paid. And I'm just here to tell you that I promise there are still vintage Birkins specifically at like okay prices. You have to be okay with getting ones that are not in like box fresh, never being used condition. But I don't know. There have been a couple times when I'm like, am I ever gonna find this price again? Should I go for one? Like, there have been some really incredible prices lately, especially of like, you know, what I'm looking for. It's like, if you're here watching with me, I know you guys agree. It's like the cool kind of like weirder tones, like maybe the lesser popular neutrals, maybe the really cool browns or taupey ones. There are some on the pre-loved market, and especially for this category. I've actually found some on the Real, I'm not gonna lie. A lot, like, you know, they sell quite quickly, but I found some ones for incredible prices, especially on Vestiaire, especially if you're willing to go for a 35, even a 40. Like, there are 30s occasionally, but I feel like, I don't know, I feel like I was so like misled by everybody and their mother's videos on Birkin 25s and Birkin 30s. In person, they're like tiny, they're so small. And I don't know if it's just because I am obviously bigger than I think most women, but for me, I'm like, a 35 is perfect. Imagine, my Kelly's a 32, so it's only a tiny bit bigger in width. I don't know, I'm just here to tell you guys that you should definitely continue looking for Birkins. Don't be like phased and don't give up. There are deals out there. And you guys, that has been my favorite bags that I've been seeing in the last couple weeks, couple months on the pre-loved and vintage markets. I don't know, I'm just a sucker for these pieces and they deserve to have new lives. As always, I cannot wait to hear your thoughts and I can't wait to see you in the next one. Bye guys.